This is Let's Talk Big, the big read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel. The Owens Community College Campus Big Read is taking place now and throughout the semester, with the goal of bringing awareness of different perspectives through books. The Campus Read book is A Little Less Broken, How an Autism Diagnosis Finally Made Me Whole by Marian Schembari. It's the story of one woman's decades-long journey to a diagnosis of autism and the barriers that keep too many neurodivergent people from knowing their true selves. Now, sharing passages, topics, and events related to the book are Director of Library Services, Jane Berger, and Professor of English, Jen Hazel.
Welcome to Let's Talk Big. I'm Jen Hazel, and I have with me my partner in crime, Jane Berger, and Honors Program and Honors Club President, Chalisa Rocker.
Hi, welcome.
I'm so happy you're
Thank
here.
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. There's so many reasons we could have you here.
Yes.
I mean, the Honors Club, your poetry,
Yes.
all the good stuff. But we're here to read.
Yes,
We are. We're not going to hear your poetry, but we will have you sometime to hear that.
Yes.
But Jane, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Loaded. Chapter 19, Imposter. I hope you spend as much time advocating for real disability rights as you do broadcasting your diagnosis. The spectrum should remain subject to strict guidelines. Doing otherwise takes away from the severity of the symptoms and treatments needed for real autistic people. So you get to be cute and married, well-traveled, brilliant, an accomplished and published writer for a prestigious publication, a mother, which is what my daughter and her autistic female friends dream of but will likely never be, and a part of the Autism Club? Why do you get to be at the top of the functioning autism spectrum? Where does that leave other people with autism? Where does that leave my daughter? Well, snap.
Chalisa, thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, my thoughts. This is really interesting since I am neurodivergent myself. I have ADHD with some autism symptoms. I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old. And so what I think about it is you have to be sure, and it is important to make sure that other people who are neurodivergent is getting the exposure that they need, that we not capitalizing off of others' disabilities, or there's different levels, I should say, rather. And so we want to make sure that we are open to understanding that we are all equal to as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. This particular paragraph, where you get to be cute and married and well-traveled, and part of the Autism Club. I mean, it just like, whoa, what more could you hope to be? But it's so true that some people don't think that those things can all go together, that you can be autistic and be this and that and do this.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's almost short of a miracle that you can have a diagnosis of autism, but yet still be functioning. Because as Jen has mentioned in other podcasts, a lot of times, and we're really working hard to try to break this this stigma and this interpretation and impression of autism, is that it's people who have autism are usually institutionalized. It's those severe and outward signs that you see that, but there's so much more that makes up autism that, as you once told your brother, when he said, I don't think I know anybody who's autistic, and you're like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Because, we don't wear badges that say,
you never know.
Autistic.
And
right.
they work jobs, they have families, and they're teachers, they're students, they look like what you consider normal, but like you said, they don't wear a badge.
Yep.
So we see them every day.
They've learned to mask very, very well.
Right.
In a world that isn't set up
Yeah.
and necessarily friendly or accommodating for what they need.
And I think some of it, too, is also this. Often, and I remember this from when my son was diagnosed, often what they will say is, do you know someone maybe in your family or someone who is like, that you would just, older, who you would just identify as being like quirky or different or just not sort of the same? That often is autism, but we didn't see it that way before. we only saw it as like one way.
Right.
So that's why I think it's
Right.
so hard. And unless it's touched you in many different ways, do you understand that?
Yeah.
But what it sounds like here to me, and I can share a little bit from my experience, what it sounds like is this, and I don't remember if she says this or not in here, but, or if the individual who wrote on her blog after she talked about her story, I don't remember if she said, if Marian had talked about this and said that, like an age with this child, it sounds like a newer diagnosis to me. When what you are is when you have children, it's like you often have all these hopes and these dreams for them, where their life is going to be quote unquote normal or look a certain way, and what you see is you're confronted with well, my life isn't what I thought it was going to be, and this is going to look different than, and it's that grieving process of saying, I'm letting go of what I thought it was going to be to here's what we are.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's feeling like, or it could be something like she's struggling to get services because it is hard, and in some areas it's very hard to get services. When my son was first diagnosed, it was really hard in many ways because we didn't offer a lot here.
Right.
And so it was super hard to be like, well, what can we do? What do we look at? There was only, now that has changed some,
Yep.
but
I
that
think
can be a problem.
Well, and I think it's even more challenging for a female because traditionally people tend to think of autism affecting boys more, which, there were statistics that did show that at, at a time. And girls just, they would beat to the sound of their own drum, like, kind of like you said, they're just quirky or, oh, isn't she so funny? Isn't she, whatever it is, to just kind of gloss over, what the daughter might have been experiencing.
Right. And I mean, that's just me speculating. And she is valid in those feelings.
Right.
And feeling that way because no one gives you this you don't get this manual after you've like given birth. And then especially you really don't get a manual if you have a child who is considered disabled.
Yeah.
That, that makes it like a challenge.
Right.
So, Chalisa, you mentioned that you have ADHD. Do you feel like a struggle? Do you mind sharing?
Yeah, there's some, as an adult, I was going to mention about women. A lot of times women go undetected with just disabilities in general because we're told to be strong and be confident and we're just pushing through. And so as an adult, I was trying to shy away from it. Like, I can work without it. I don't need to take medication. I don't have to go to therapy. I don't have to do all these things. But as I got older and I'm in college right now, I noticed that some symptoms was coming up again. My focus, noises, being in the classroom and hearing like hyper focus on these noises, people tapping and stuff like that, and trying to move away from it, but understanding like, no, this isn't an issue. So I had to get a therapist, a neurodivergent therapist, an ADHD therapist now that I have, because I realized, sometimes I can't stay focused. Sometimes I'm hyper focused or I'm not focused or I do things at the last minute, and I realized that. So for a while I just was on my own strength and moving in my spiritual practices and faith, trying to be the best I can be. But I realized, no, it's okay that you're an adult and you still have these symptoms as a child. It didn't go away, because when you're neurodivergent, you get diagnosed and been dealing with it for 15, 16 years, it doesn't go away. So realizing that I am different, that's okay for me to be different. I learn different. I have to get extra tutoring done. So I'm unique and we're unique. And so I took it as, I'm okay with being different. And so just realizing that is who I am and I'm okay with it. And then having a support system, people on campus, my relatives, family members, therapists, that I'm different and I'm okay with it, because at first I didn't, like I'm different, you're strange, you're weird, you're quirky, you're this, but no, it's that I'm overstimulated. I can't be around a lot of people a long time. I have to be separate. I have to sit in the front of the classroom. I can't sit in the back, and I have to wear headphones if we're taking a test in the classroom because, those accommodations. So just making sure that I'm okay and confident in who I am now.
Well, we love so much that you have shared with us, and I was going to say I think that you're doing I mean, you're fantastic.
Thank you.
As
I appreciate that.
I got to talk about in the beginning, and we didn't even get the chance to really talk about the honors, but
Yes.
you're, you know, the president of the Honors Club,
Yes.
and you're an honors student,
Yes.
so you are working through it and a great model for others. But we'd love to have you back to talk
Yes,
about
please.
that.
Yes,
so
I will definitely come back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So join us for part 2 with Chalisa soon.
This has been Let's Talk Big. Catch Let's Talk Big anytime on the RSS feed or the Owens OutComm Plus YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Join us again for Let's Talk Big, the big read with Jane Berger and Jen Hazel.